Welcome back on the channel, guys. VST here, Tech. I just bought this digital lux meter as I'm eagerly awaiting the arrival of the Oppo Find X6 Pro with a whooping 2500 peak brightness, and I decided to test the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra with the iPhone 14 Pro, because we pretty much know that those are one of the best displays in this business. The Galaxy S23 has a whooping QHD Plus panel. It can do 1440 per 3080 at px resolution, guys. The pixel density is 501 ppi. Samsung are calling it the dynamic AMOLED 2X display. It can go up to 120 Hz maximum refresh rate. It's also adaptive. It has the HDR10+. Samsung also promised 1200 nits of maximum brightness when you use it in the high brightness mode, and also a whooping 1750 nits of a peak brightness. And this is something that I would like to test. On my right hand side I have the iPhone 14 Pro, and you know iPhones really Pro versions are best in class. It has the Super Retina XDR display. This is how Apple are calling it. It's an OLED panel, guys, 6.1 inches. It can do 1179 by 2556 px resolution, but the ppi or the pixel density is a bit lower than this. Here we have 460 ppi. Also 120 Hz adaptive. But forget about this, guys. We are here to test the display brightness, and Apple are promising to get almost like 1000 nits in a regular use, which is actually insane. And also in certain scenario to be able to boost this to almost 2000 nits when you're using it in bright outdoor conditions. And yeah, when you use HDR you should get something like 1600. Now we are here to test this. Now guys, how am I gonna do this test? First, I'm going to use the standard auto brightness on both phones. All right, so I'm gonna start first with the S23 Ultra. I'm gonna use the adaptive brightness settings. You know that when you disable this one, you have the option to use or toggle the extra brightness and then go up to the maximum. This is also something we're gonna do, but right now first thing is gonna be adaptive brightness indoor and also outdoor during really crazy sun. And I found, guys, a very nice video that will help me get there. It's an HDR video, guys, and I will stop this on the very same exact frame here and also on the iPhone, because this spot here will really give me the maximum brightness. So the first phone to be tested is the S23 Ultra. Then I'm gonna do the same test with the iPhone 14. First ultra brightness, then disable it. And guys, yeah, let's just see how much we're gonna get. Are we really gonna get close numbers to the ones that are advertised? So right now in this indoor scenario, guys, I'm getting something like 890, 820 lux. All right, so what I'm going to do right now, guys, I am going to just go in a full screen mode, and I'm going to try to fix here the sensor exactly on the very same spot where we know we have the highest brightness, and of course try to measure what we have. So 700, 702, so this is pretty much kind of expected. All right, one more time just to be sure. 744, 745, this is really the maximum that we can get. And just to be sure that this is no error, I'm gonna measure, let's say here, which I know is already darker area, and if I measure the darker area, guys, I'm gonna get something like 224. So if again I focus on the very bright area, and just also to be absolutely sure, guys, I can do like this. I want to make sure that my sensor is fully covering the screen, so you can just see 690. So there is no light leaking inside, guys. 700 and above the real results. So now let's repeat this test, but let's do this under direct sunlight. As you can see, under direct sunlight, guys, we are really getting 5000 lux. So I'm going again to try to get the same frame here. And right now you can already see the dimming of the screen. So I'm gonna put my lux meter on, guys, and I'm gonna try to hook it up to the very same exact location. Now also in the very bright, yeah, wow. Let me just show you, guys. We are already getting 1700 and something. 1000 and okay, now it dropped because of course I pressed something, which only means that this works. So if my Galaxy is exposed under direct sunlight, guys, I'm able to get more than 1000, so 1500. So if I just concentrate on the very bright spot, guys, see we are getting 1724. Okay, and there is, by the way, the option here on the lux meter to only measure for the maximum value. So if I just do like this, we are now gonna get really the maximum value. So one more time, guys, 164. Okay, if I just try to move it a bit, 1740 642, guys. This is really as much as we can get, and this is actually quite nice because this is almost really what Samsung are advertising. So we are of course able to get. Now of course when I move under the direct sunlight, guys, I get a different reading, but that's kind of clear. So 1742. Now what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm going to repeat the same scenario, but I'm gonna go and manually put the extra brightness on. Honestly, I don't really think we're gonna get more than this. So let me just remove the adaptive brightness. The extra brightness is already on, and now I'm gonna pump the display to the highest setting. But nevertheless, guys, let's see how much we are going to get. So I will now go back to the standard setting where I'm measuring the looks in real time. And allow one moment for the eye of the sensor to be exactly positioned where I need it to be. And let's try to measure it. Okay, yeah, 1000. Oh, okay, 1700. Yeah, so it's really pumping up. It's really pumping up. So 1600 and more, at some point even 1000. So we absolutely get all the time more than 1000. So even close to 1750, which is, I guess, about as much as they advertise. So the Samsung really is doing a great job. But now it's time to test also the iPhone. Now back to the same indoor scenario. You can just see I have something like 600 in the room already. So how can we be sure that we don't have any auto brightness on the iPhone? We need to go inside the settings, guys. We then also need to scroll to accessibility. It's buried very deep, I know. Display and text size, guys, and there's something here telling us auto brightness. All right, so we are now using auto brightness. Okay, now the sun is also dropping. 400, ideal for our test. This now is the very bright spot, and I'm going to try to now repeat the very same test, guys, indoors with the auto brightness on and no big sun. Okay, guys, so wow, 990, woo. No joke here. It is absolutely almost as they really advertise. So we are almost getting 900 nits with the auto brightness, guys, indoors scenario. So this is really, really impressive. Now remember, I have inverted my lux meter, but this is really 985, 986, so almost 1000. And now let's try to do the same, but under direct sunlight, and then I'm gonna remove the auto brightness and pump the brightness up to the max to see how much we're gonna get as peak nit. All right, we are now back with the sunny scenario, and you can just see the brightness pumping up like crazy. Now the iPhone is under direct sunlight, guys, and yeah, let's the measuring begin. 1749. Okay, and yep, if something goes wrong, then I know this really works. So I'm just positioning it one more time. 1800 and above, actually 1832. So we are definitely getting a bit more, like 100 nits more compared to what I was able to measure on the S23 Ultra, above 1800 nits. And now, guys, the moment of truth. I am now gonna go back inside setting and try to pump up the brightness to the max. So remember, accessibility, display and text size. So I'm gonna turn the auto brightness off. I'm now back in the regular display settings, guys, and the brightness was already pumped to the max. So I don't really think that we're gonna get more than this, but it's worth trying. It's really impressive. Both phones are performing quite well, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the Oppo Find X6 Pro. So one more time, and now with the sun pointing to the display, guys, I am getting 1500, 1400. So definitely both phones really deliver on their promises.